What is up? What is up, YouTube? Hey, we're gonna. My bad. I thought I turned it off. We're gonna get into this, man. I'm Uncle Mike. I got a YouTube channel. Got 500,000 subscribers. I've been doing YouTube for over 7-8 years now, something like that. I am a full-time YouTuber. Growth Formula. I teach Growth Formula. Man, you don't need to learn more. You don't need to watch a lot of videos and all this stuff. You just gotta stop guessing. Get clarity and stop guessing. That's Growth Formula. Did I say Growth Formula the first time? If I can do this and make money out of it with all the mistakes Uncle Mike make, I know you can do this. And here's how. Growth's got a formula most never learn. You don't need luck or talent, structure is earned. If you're ready to build and you know it's your turn, start with the 4 free videos, earn as you learn. Click on the more below to sign up. That's right, y'all. Check our links below. I made 4 videos, man, that will actually explain to you step by step everything that you should be, all the reasons why you should be doing a YouTube channel. I'm changing things, man. So I'm thrown off a little bit because the sound is different and everything. So I'm trying to tweak stuff. Anyway, YouTube new rules for 2026. This should be interesting. Learn this ASAP because my man, let me hit the refresh button. I clicked on this because I saw his thumbnails. His thumbnails are very important. We know that, y'all. And we teach you how to pick thumbnails and use thumbnails that attract people to click. Just like this guy right here. I clicked on his video. Nate, 85,000 subscribers, doing pretty good. I gave him a thumbs up. We always give everybody we react to thumbs up. We stopped counting subscribers. I don't care what anybody say. I'm gonna say this just like he's saying it. Subscribers does not matter anymore. The number just going up and up. At first, when YouTube first started out, y'all, it was hard to get somebody to subscribe because it wasn't your everyday social media type thing, right? If you subscribe to a channel, that means you was interested in that niche and that person teaching you and showing you different things. Now it's social media. So everybody and their mama just clicking and subscribing. So please subscribe to my channel. We all want subscribers. Can't get out of the old way things work. So can't get out of it. You just want them. You want that number to be bigger. So if you want that, then get it. All you got to do is ask people, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, man. Let's check this bad boy. Yeah.
I've made you some cards to show what's been happening with YouTube right now, and you'll want to act on these to be prepared and have a successful coming year. Howdy, everyone. Nate here. First thing I have been observing.
Okay, before we get into what you've been observing, Nate, I must say that what I'm doing is actually evaluating what he's doing, because to me, I'm still a beginner. And I teach beginners how to do things. So some of the things that people are teaching, it doesn't amount to clarity because it's not for the beginner. A lot of things, they start talking about search engine optimization, keywords and hashtags. And you're like, what? What's a hash? How do I know if I'm using the right hashtag? All that type of stuff. So my goal in this video is to keep things real simple for the very beginner. I'm talking about somebody that uploaded like 10 videos. Here we go.
Is bingeable series are the future on this platform. It shouldn't come as a surprise to almost anyone watching this that YouTube rewards watch time, not subscribers, which, by the way, if that does come as a surprise to anyone, welcome to this year, baby. This is how YouTube is going.
That's true.
Now, even if it's not a surprise to you that watch time is the way that YouTube is going, why specifically bingeable series? I was having a conversation recently with YouTube creator liaison Rene Ritchie, and in that conversation, Rene pointed out some very interesting things. He referenced a few studies done, which I think I found I'm going to show on screen for you today, where these studies demonstrated that for many watchers, many audience members, not just on the YouTube platform, people were choosing to watch the same shows over and over again. Now, there's an element of comfort to that, but there's also an element of pre-trust. Meaning, if your audience knows beforehand what they can expect from a piece of content with that pre-trust in place, and they had a positive, satisfying experience with the series previously, how much more likely are they to watch and enjoy that future piece of content? Having ongoing series in your content builds trust unlike almost anything else right now. And this leads to one of the most beneficial things I am seeing for YouTube creators like yourself, which is this: easy wins. And this came up also in my conversation with Renee, where we were talking about how different formats of content on this platform have different amounts of choice needed in order to consume that content. If you create bingeable series for your audience, they have to make fewer choices to know that they're going to enjoy that session that they're having on YouTube. And does the algorithm or the algorithms like that? You bet. And that ties in perfectly with this. TV viewers. This has been on the rise for more than a year now. In fact, this very thing was reported directly from their annual report from the YouTube company themselves. So if TV viewership is on the rise with many audiences, what does that mean for you and I as creators? This is how I take it. When I think of someone watching on a TV, their behavior is going to be different than on a mobile or a tablet or on a desktop. Each viewing behavior has a different set of habits associated with it. For TV viewership, my take is that this is going on. What I am calling a reclinability factor. Yes, you can quote me on that.
Okay. First of all, this is like second or third phase for a beginner. If you beginning, first of all, you want watch time. Don't get me wrong. You want to focus more on subscribers. You know why? Because you need 1,000 of them to get monetized. But you also need 4,000 watch hours. So I guess you do got to focus on watch time as well. You need 4,000 watch hours, and you need, I don't care what this new stuff they talking about, you only need 500,000, and then you can do this and start making money off of shorts. Yeah, right. Okay. I'm the expert, and you're telling me how much do you make off your YouTube channel? This is what I wanted to say to the guy, but I didn't say it. He got 400 subscribers. He almost at 500, and he telling me. But I'm just letting you know, don't go for the okie dokes. Get clarity, get structure, and take your time and learn how to do YouTube from an expert.
Meaning, this is the kind of video that for many audience members, if they're going to watch on a TV, they're going to go navigate to your video, or maybe it's recommended to them. They hit start, and then they're able to recline and not do anything else. And this is for one of two reasons. Either A, you've developed your video as a compelling story, or B, you focused on camaraderie, meaning you've focused in your videos on the type of content that just feels like people are spending time with you, meaning they can turn it on their TV while they're building Lego, or while they're doing a craft, or while they're doing chores. And focusing on this reclinability for your content is a rare triple win for the YouTube platform. The triple win being, for your audience, you've developed a story or camaraderie for them so that they're having a very satisfying experience. For YouTube, you're keeping people on the platform longer, which is the binge series, the watch time. And for you, the creator, many creators have reported much higher ad revenue from TV viewership versus other devices. Next thing, unthumbnails. If you have not yet watched my video about the unthumbnail trend that I am observing right now, I coined the phrase unthumbnail to describe this, then I highly recommend you watch it. But the reasoning behind focusing on unthumbnails for the packaging on your videos goes way deeper. First, if you've spent any amount of time as a creator on this platform, there is a wave, a tsunami of freaking AI slop thumbnails that are being published on this platform. They are terrible. In fact, I published an entire rant video pointing out strategically how to use AI for thumbnails and why what is currently happening will not work. It's a very entertaining video. You should watch it after this. In fact, I conducted an experiment where I published that video at the exact same time as this video you're watching right now. So yeah, you want to watch it. So we know we're not focusing on AI slop, but when it comes to unthumbnails, thinking of them as a hybrid of, hey, I'm a real person, I am not AI, combined with compelling value, it just makes for a clear value proposition. And this combines very well with this next thing, combating that tsunami of AI slop. Authenticity as a skill, a practiced skill. Now, I want you to listen close here because this will sound more obvious than it actually is. And I want...
All right, pause for one more time. Check this out, man. I think that as a YouTuber, and I think YouTube, the platform, is frowned upon the faceless channels, all this AI stuff. They don't, YouTube is trying to get back to the content creator, us, people that's showing their face, what my guy is doing right here. People say, well, I don't want to show my face. You don't have to show your face. You can do the speaking and doing everything, your real voice and everything, and not show your face, but just give your voice and let people know what it is you're doing. I don't know, put pictures up. But YouTube is starting to reward people more that show their face than all this AI stuff, basically. So one of the things I try not to, you can do faceless channels, and we started 2 faceless channels that ain't doing too good. Here we go.
Authenticity as a skill, a practiced skill. Now, I want you to listen close here because this will sound more obvious than it actually is. And I want you to look at your own content to measure it against what I am about to show you. First, I failed to make a boop the like button card. I know, I can't believe it. I usually like to put like a fun little Easter egg boop the like button. Totally forgot to. So here is inviting you to boop the like button on this video if it's being helpful and eye-opening to you thus far. Thank you for doing that. Let's talk.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, baby. Please.
About authenticity. Now, authenticity by itself is not a new concept. It's been since practically the beginning of time. But what I am seeing right now on the YouTube platform is thinking of authenticity as a skill and intentionally focusing on it is extremely valuable. Realness is the authenticity, and intention or the skill behind that authenticity. So what do I mean by this? Similar to what I've been observing with unthumbnails, there being a range between raw thumbnails and highly engineered, enhanced thumbnails, when it comes to authenticity, there's also a range. On the one hand, we have completely raw, and on the other hand, we have only retention editing, only keeping the most interesting parts, only keeping the very, very highest engagement elements within content. It is my premise here that creators that focus on skillful authenticity will come out on top. Because on the one hand, being fully raw within your footage and talking to the camera or sharing things does come across as completely authentic, but it also sometimes loses people who don't feel like they have the time of day. So my premise here is that for most creators watching this, there will be a massive, huge benefit from placing yourself somewhere in the middle. I've got some rawness, I've got some authenticity, it's real, and I am being skillful with what I am including in my footage. And yes, I have a whole video planned about what this looks like with side-by-side comparisons of each of these. I also wanted to combo up with this authentic skills AI proofing of your content. I was originally going to keep these 2 separate until I realized, heck, these are almost one and the same here. With the current reality of AI content creation relying on already existing content, how are we going to proof our channels, our content against that? I've thought long and hard on this, and yes, there are entire discussions that you and I could have about this, but one of the primary ways I see you and I AI proofing our content is to focus on this: real community. Until AI is able to fully replace you as a persona and make you seem exactly like a human, having conversations with people and appearing on video that's raw and unedited and all of the above, until that happens, this is not going to be replaced. In fact, a really good example of this very thing, I have been having conversations with one of my clients about this, where we're creating 3D historical content that's original animated stuff, that's not AI slop generated stuff. One of the things we're focusing on is having footage of this creator in a motion capture suit, which is what they're doing, being thrown off of their horse, their fake horse, for the footage, or shooting a musket and reacting to it. My point here is that is the kind of thing that is going to accomplish this AI proofing. Which interestingly brings me to this next thing. AI as an enhancement or a creative tool to enhance your capability as a creator. Now hear me out here while I share my current take on AI tools. Fortunately and unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, they are getting better. And along with that, they are not going to go anywhere. So my theory here is when done well, combined with this authenticity as a skill, AI tools are currently and will continue to enhance your capability. In fact, I would go so far as to say for many creators, if they are not utilized well, they will be left behind. So what we're saying here is we're going to leverage them, specifically to do this. My recommendation each time this conversation comes up is to not completely outsource your creativity, but to use AI to enhance it. And a tool that has been doing this very well, in fact, leaving many other tools completely in the dust, is vidIQ. And a perfect example of this enhancement in action is a recent conversation I had with vidIQ's AI coach. Now I need to add here, I am not sponsored by vidIQ. No, this video is not sponsored by vidIQ. I've just been using the tool for a long time and it keeps getting better. Let me show you. And this is the perfect example of this enhancement in action. Recently, I was using the AI coach and I asked it this question. Based on my channel, what video ideas do you have for me? And I found this gave me a much better answer than tools like Gemini or ChatGPT because it's been trained specifically on my content. So appreciated when I click right here, it walks through the process of how it reached the conclusion. I appreciated that transparency. So what it gave me is ideas for upcoming videos I can make, along with scores based on, get this, previously high-performing videos on my channel and why they performed well, including keywords. And not just SEO keywords, but the words that worked well in the packaging on my videos. So this one, for example, idea 2, AI thumbnail revolution, the AI thumbnail revolution that's changing the game for creators. I looked at this, I looked at everything it told me about it, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a video, but the opposite of this. This jogged the idea for me, and that is one of the videos that I published at the same time that this video you're watching right now published. So if you wanna see how this video played out, go ahead and watch it after this. Which brings us to the last point here before I get into the bonus.
You notice how, this is something that beginners should be doing in your storytelling. Whatever your video is about, in your storytelling, you should always keep pointing back to another video. If you like this video, then you should go watch my other video. I did a video, now I'm going to point you to one of my videos. I did 3 or 4 videos about TikTok. A lot of people, when I first started YouTube, man, you should do TikTok. People blowing up on TikTok because the numbers are big. TikTok numbers are big. But he already said the number one thing, if you're trying to make money, watch time. The longer your videos are, the more you can get people comfortable and they looking at your video like it's a podcast, so to speak. TikTok doesn't, at first I don't know about now because I don't do TikTok. They don't have long content. TikTok is more about scrolling on your phone, you know what I'm saying? Like Instagram or Twitter. Oops. You know, so long story short, watch time is what you want to focus on. You want to attract people that likes long watch time. You don't want to watch, you don't even want to do YouTube shorts. You don't want to do that. I'm just telling you what worked for me and what my course teaches and everything. But I know one thing. There's a lot of people making a lot of money off of TikTok, a lot of money off of shorts. Now, the whole video about TikTok, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm going to get all this out. The whole story about TikTok is this. They cut their ad revenue. People was making $1 per 1,000 or something like that. Whatever it was, now it's down to a penny or 3 pennies. And people are pissed off over that. It's their platform, though. It's their platform. So YouTube is where you want to be. Here we go.
I had to talk about this last thing because it is far, way too overlooked by creators. The way you position yourself as a creator will have an even greater impact this coming year on this platform.
Here we go.
Meaning the approach you take to making content, it needs to fit you. And the first level of this looks like this. I've made this visual before, but I wanted to explain it to you again because on my end, I am going to go much more in depth on this in this coming year. There are 4 types of creator positions: hero, performer, teacher, and commentator. If you're a hero, for example, you're the one experiencing the content and having the journey, and your audience is there observing and having the experience with you. If you're a performer, you're creating content, and you as the content creator may not even matter to the audience. It's all about the topic matter. If you're a teacher, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're teaching something, you're helping your audience acquire a skill set or get an outcome or a goal. And if you're a commentator, you're acting as a filter for usually real world already existing things, and you're providing commentary and or enhancing the conversation by sharing your own insights on them. I'm going to go much more in depth in this on an upcoming video, but the purpose of this is identifying the approach you're taking to your content that it needs to fit you. I care deeply about this because just this very week, I had over an hour-long conversation with a client where this person, by all accounts, was extremely successful as a person. Monetarily, success with other people, all of that, very successful. But along the way, it came out that they were feeling terrified because all of this other success was all like layers on the onion as they were getting closer and closer to doing what they really wanted, and they were just terrified of it. And there's a big possibility that you watching this also know what that feels like, which is why I'm strongly advocating that everyone choose content that fits them as a person. Because person or brand or business fit is one of the biggest indicators from my experience of being able to be consistent and grow consistently. And a nice bonus thing here is the clearer it is for yourself, the clearer it is for your audience, which means the clearer it is for, you guessed it, the algorithms. Now, I promised some bonuses here, and here it is time to talk about those. Unfortunately, I don't have any cards for this, so we're just going to have to say bonus time. There are 3 features that the YouTube platform is either currently rolling out or about to roll out soon that are going to completely change the game for creators like you and I. 1, they've already been doing thumbnail testing. They are rolling out title testing. Now, you may or may not already have access to title ABC testing. If you do, I highly recommend that you leverage it in one of 2 ways. First, have different titles and the same thumbnail, or second, have the same title and different thumbnails. It's the simplest way to do a true ABC test. Second feature, the collaboration feature. And this is the ability for one channel to upload a video and then have it basically co-hosted on more than one channel at once. I am wildly curious to see how this performs. In fact, I have some plans in the works to do some testing on this. But what I will say for now is typically when a new feature is rolled out on a platform, there is an advantage for the early adopters because the platform wants to test that feature. So I strongly recommend, if you have access to collaboration feature, that you just test it out. Find some friends, find some fellow creators, and say, hey, let's do some collab videos and just see what happens. Third feature is this. I don't know. I should have looked up the official name for what this feature is called right now. I'm calling it sponsor segments. As I understand it right now, as of recording this video, it's going to be rolled out within the next 12 months. But what this is the ability for you and I as creators to specify when we upload a video, a section of the video where we are going to insert our own sponsor segment. Very similar to how we can specify ad breaks for the YouTube Partner Program ads. We will be able to upload ads that are either from a company, it's a sold sponsor ad similar to TV, or we'll be able to create our own sponsored segment that's ourselves talking about a launch that we're doing or a new product that we have. And we'll be able to get this in retrospect, go back and insert this into any video on our channel. This alone is going to completely change the monetization landscape on this platform. It is huge and I am super excited for it. Another strategy that I have developed and tested, I call a channel remaster. I just did this on a client's channel with huge success, and that video just published at the same time that this video you're watching right now. So
great information, a little more advanced. All these features and everything is advanced. I'm looking for more information about beginner YouTubers. So that's how I end up at this YouTubers new rules. So I'm gonna get on up out of here. The new rules is they're based towards the content creator, the real human beings. That AI stuff, I'm trying to tell y'all, the faceless channels and the AI stuff is about to be out of here. YouTube does not like that stuff. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.